Tuscany. The word itself conjures images. Rolling hills bathed in a soft golden light. Lone cypress trees standing like sentinels on a ridge, their dark green shapes pointing towards a brilliant blue sky. It is a landscape that feels both ancient and alive, a place where every winding road seems to lead to a discovery. This is a region that gets under your skin. It's more than just a destination, it's a feeling. You feel it in the warmth of the sun, you taste it in the food, and you see it etched into the stones of its medieval villages. It's a land that invites you to slow down, to breathe, and simply to be. I have spent a lot of time here, and every visit feels like coming home. There is a certain magic in the air, a story whispered on the breeze that carries the scent of olive groves and vineyards. You see, Tuscany is not just a place of staggering beauty, it is a living museum, a testament to human creativity and resilience. It's where art isn't confined to galleries, but is part of the very fabric of life. You can turn a corner in a tiny, forgotten hamlet and stumble upon a masterpiece, a fresco that has been waiting patiently for centuries. This is the promise of Tuscany. Beauty and history are everywhere, waiting to be found. The charm of Tuscany lies in its contrasts. The grandeur of Florence, with its magnificent Duomo and bustling squares, exists alongside the quiet contemplation of a secluded monastery. The sophisticated flavors of a world-renowned wine can be enjoyed in a rustic trattoria, where the owner greets you like family. It's a place of profound artistry and simple pleasures. You can spend a morning gazing at Michelangelo's David and an afternoon watching an old man tend to his vegetable garden. Both experiences feel equally important, equally Tuscan. It's this balance that makes the region so utterly captivating and endlessly fascinating. So, I invite you to come with me, to explore this remarkable corner of the world. We will wander through ancient streets, meet the people who keep its traditions alive, and of course, we will eat. We will eat very well. We will discover that Tuscany is not just a place on a map, but a state of mind. It's a reminder of the beauty that can be created when nature and humanity work in harmony. It's a land that has shaped history, art, and language, and its influence is still felt far beyond its rolling green borders. Let's begin our journey into the heart of Italy. So, where is this magical place? Tuscany sits right in the center of Italy, a region of about 23,000 square kilometers. It stretches from the Apennine Mountains in the east to the shimmering Tyrrhenian Sea in the west. Its location is key. For centuries, it was a crossroads for pilgrims, merchants, and armies, all traveling the ancient roads that crisscrossed the land. This constant flow of people and ideas made Tuscany a melting pot of culture, innovation, and, inevitably, conflict. From the mysterious Etruscans who first settled these hills to the powerful Roman Empire that followed, this land has always been at the center of things, a stage for some of history's greatest dramas. Its importance cannot be overstated. Tuscany is in many ways the cradle of Western civilization as we know it. Its city-states like Florence, Siena, and Pisa were medieval powerhouses. They were centers of banking, trade, and intellectual thought that rivaled kingdoms across Europe. The rivalries between these cities were legendary, often fierce and bloody, but they also spurred incredible competition in art and architecture. Each city wanted to outdo the other, to build a taller tower, a grander cathedral, a more beautiful piazza. This competitive spirit, fueled by immense wealth and civic pride, laid the groundwork for an explosion of creativity the world had never seen before. Think about it. The history here is not confined to dusty books. It is written on the landscape itself. You can walk the same paths as Roman legions, stand in the same squares where powerful medieval families plotted and schemed, and look up at towers that have stood for nearly 1,000 years. Every stone tells a story. The region's strategic position and its independent, often rebellious spirit allowed it to flourish. While much of Europe was still in the Dark Ages, Tuscany was lighting a candle, preparing to ignite a flame that would illuminate the entire continent and change the course of human history forever. This historical weight is what gives Tuscany its depth. It's not just a pretty postcard. It's a place of substance. The hills are not just hills. They are witnesses to centuries of human endeavor. The cities are not just collections of old buildings. They are living monuments to ambition, genius, and the enduring power of ideas. Understanding this history is crucial to understanding the Tuscan soul. It explains the fierce local pride, the deep connection to the land, and the profound appreciation for beauty that you find in every corner of this extraordinary region. It is the foundation upon which everything else is built. If Tuscany is the heart of Italy, then the Renaissance was its heartbeat, pumping life, art, and new ideas throughout the world. And it all started here. In the 14th and 15th centuries, something incredible happened in these cities, particularly in Florence. There was a shift in thinking, a rebirth of interest in the classical art, literature, and philosophy of ancient Greece and Rome. Humanism took root, placing human beings and their potential at the center of the universe. Artists, thinkers, and scientists began to look at the world in a new way, and the results were simply breathtaking. This wasn't just an art movement, it was a revolution of the mind. This revolution was financed by powerful families like the Medici in Florence. They were bankers and patrons of the arts, and they used their immense wealth to commission works from the greatest talents of the age. Names that echo through history: Leonardo da Vinci, Michelangelo, Botticelli, Brunelleschi, all flourished under their patronage. They weren't just creating pretty pictures, they were pushing the boundaries of what was possible, experimenting with perspective, anatomy, and engineering. When Brunelleschi figured out how to build the massive dome for Florence's cathedral, it was a feat of genius that symbolized the dawn of this new era. It was a statement: humanity can achieve the impossible. But the Renaissance wasn't just about art and architecture, it was also about language. Before this time, Latin was the language of scholars and the church, while people spoke hundreds of different local dialects. Then came three Tuscan writers: Dante Alighieri, Francesco Petrarch, and Giovanni Boccaccio. These men, often called the Three Crowns, chose to write their greatest works. Dante's Divine Comedy, for example, not in Latin, but in the Tuscan dialect spoken on the streets of Florence. They proved that the common language could be just as beautiful, powerful, and profound as classical Latin. It was a bold and revolutionary act. Their influence was enormous. Because their works were so brilliant and widely read, the Tuscan dialect became the standard for literature and culture across the Italian peninsula. Over centuries, it evolved into the modern Italian language that is spoken today. So when you hear Italian spoken, you are hearing the linguistic legacy of Tuscany. It's an incredible thought. This one region not only gave the world some of its most enduring art, but also gave a unified Italy its voice. It's another reason why Tuscany's contribution to world culture is so immensely important, and why its legacy is felt every single day. Tuscany's gifts are not only cultural, they come directly from the rich soil and the rugged mountains. Let's talk about wine. You cannot speak of Tuscany without speaking of its wine. The landscape is a patchwork of vineyards, tended with a passion that has been passed down through generations. The most famous of all is Chianti, the iconic red wine that has become a symbol of Italy itself. But there is a story here. For a long time, Chianti, often sold in those straw-covered bottles called fiaschi, had a reputation for being a simple table wine. But then, a group of dedicated producers worked to elevate its quality, creating the Chianti Classico, a wine of incredible structure and complexity, born from the Sangiovese grape. Then you travel south, towards the town of Montalcino, and you discover another treasure, Brunello. This is a wine that commands respect. Made from 100% Sangiovese, it is aged for years, developing deep, complex flavors of cherry, leather, and earth. To taste a great Brunello is to taste the essence of the Tuscan terroir. It's a powerful, elegant wine that tells a story of the sun, the soil, and the patient hand of the winemaker. And there are so many others, the Super Tuscans, Vino Nobile di Montepulciano. Each wine is an expression of its specific place, a liquid postcard from a small patch of earth. It's a world unto itself, one that is deeply connected to the land and the changing seasons. From the vineyards, we go to the mountains. Near the coast, you find the Apuan Alps, home to the legendary Carrara marble quarries. This is where Michelangelo came to personally select the blocks of stone for his masterpieces, including the David. He believed the statue was already inside the marble. His job was simply to chip away the excess. For centuries, this luminous white to blue-gray stone has been prized by sculptors and architects around the world. The quarries themselves are a breathtaking, almost surreal sight. Gleaming white mountains carved out by human hands over millennia. It's a testament to incredible labor and the enduring quest for beauty, a raw material that becomes timeless art. This combination of natural and cultural wealth is recognized globally. Tuscany is home to an incredible number of UNESCO World Heritage Sites. The historic centers of Florence, Siena, and Pienza are all protected, as is the entire landscape of the Val d'Orcia, which UNESCO calls an exceptional reflection of the way the landscape was rewritten in Renaissance times. These designations are not just for tourists. They are a recognition that what Tuscany holds is precious not just for Italy, but for all of humanity. These gifts from the earth, whether a bottle of wine or a block of marble, are a vital part of the region's identity and its legacy to the world. In Tuscany, tradition is not something you read about in a museum. It is something you see and touch. It lives in the hands of the artisans who continue to practice crafts that have been honed over centuries. In Florence, especially in the Oltrarno district across the river, you can wander down narrow streets and peek into small workshops, or botteghe. Here, you will find artisans working with leather, a craft for which the city is world famous. The smell of tanned hides fills the air as they cut, stitch, and polish, creating beautiful bags, belts, and shoes with the same care and skill as their ancestors. It's a tradition that goes back to the Middle Ages. This dedication to craftsmanship extends to ceramics as well. Towns like Montelupo Fiorentino have been centers of pottery production since the Renaissance. The classic Majolica pottery, with its vibrant colors and intricate designs, is still made by hand. Each piece is painted with patterns of fruit, leaves, or animals, turning a simple plate or vase into a small work of art. Watching a potter at their wheel, shaping the clay with effortless grace, is mesmerizing. It is a slow, deliberate process in a fast-moving world. These objects are not mass-produced. They carry the mark of the maker, a human touch that makes them unique and special. The people of Tuscany hold these traditions dear. They are a link to the past and a source of immense local pride. This is a society built on a deep respect for quality and authenticity. Whether it's the food they cook, the wine they make, or the crafts they produce, there is a belief in doing things the right way without cutting corners. This philosophy is evident in the local markets, where producers sell cheese, cured meats, and olive oil made on their family farms. They can tell you the story of every product because it is their story. It's a personal connection to food and craft that is often lost in the modern world. This spirit is what makes the Tuscan people so warm and welcoming. There is an openness, a generosity, and a passion for life that is infectious. They are proud of their heritage and eager to share it. They understand that the true wealth of their region lies not just in its famous art or beautiful landscapes, but in its enduring traditions and the community that upholds them. It's in the shared meal, the town festival, the conversation in the piazza. It is the human element, the hands that create, and the hearts that preserve, that gives Tuscany its true and lasting soul. Let us take a journey through some of Tuscany's most iconic places, each with its own distinct character. We begin in the Val d'Orcia, a landscape so perfect it looks like a Renaissance painting brought to life. This is the Tuscany of your dreams. The rolling hills change color with the seasons, from the vibrant green of spring to the golden wheat of summer. Dotted with charming towns like Pienza and Montalcino, and the famous chapel of the Madonna di Vitaletta, standing alone in a field, this valley is a place for contemplation. It is where you find the famous pecorino cheese of Pienza and the powerful Brunello wine, products born from this idyllic land. From the quiet countryside, we plunge into the glorious chaos of Florence, the region's capital. This is the epicenter of the Renaissance, a city that is an overwhelming treasure trove of art. You walk in the footsteps of giants here. There is the Ponte Vecchio, the only bridge the Germans didn't destroy in World War II, still lined with glittering jewelry shops. There is the Uffizi Gallery, holding masterpieces by Botticelli and Leonardo. And of course, there is Michelangelo's David in the Accademia, a symbol of perfection and human potential. But Florence is also a living city with bustling markets, incredible food, like the legendary bistecca alla Fiorentina, and a vibrant energy that pulses through its ancient streets. Next, we travel south to the incredible town of Pitigliano. It's a breathtaking sight, a town that seems to grow directly out of a massive cliff of volcanic tufa rock. Known as Little Jerusalem for its historic Jewish community, its narrow alleys, ancient synagogue, and cellars carved deep into the rock tell a unique story of coexistence and history. Then we head to the coast, to Castiglione della Pescaia. Here, a medieval fortress overlooks a modern seaside resort with beautiful sandy beaches. It's a perfect blend of history and relaxation, where you can explore ancient walls in the morning and dip your toes in the Tyrrhenian Sea in the afternoon, enjoying fresh seafood caught that very day. Finally, we arrive in Siena, Florence's historic rival. Siena is a Gothic masterpiece, a city that feels preserved in time. Its heart is the magnificent Piazza del Campo, a shell-shaped square that is one of the greatest public spaces in Europe. This is where the famous Palio horse race is held twice every summer. A wild, passionate event that is about much more than just a race. It's about neighborhood pride and centuries of tradition. With its striking black and white striped Duomo and its winding medieval streets, Siena offers a different, perhaps more intimate experience than Florence. Each of these places shows a different face of Tuscany, a region of incredible diversity and endless stories. As our journey comes to a close, what is the lasting impression of Tuscany? It is a sense of timelessness. This is a land where the past is not a foreign country. It is a constant, living presence. You feel it when you walk on the worn stones of a Roman road, or when you taste a wine made from vines that have grown in the same soil for hundreds of years. The beauty of Tuscany is not fleeting. It is deep, resonant, and has been captured by artists for centuries because it speaks to something fundamental within us. It is a landscape that feels like it was designed by a master painter, and in a way it was, shaped by both nature and the human hand. The true soul of Tuscany, however, is found in its people and their connection to this place. It's in the farmer who knows his olive trees like they are his children. It's in the chef who insists on using only the freshest local ingredients, not as a trend, but because that is the only way it has ever been done. It is in the fierce pride of a Sienese resident for their contrada, or neighborhood, during the Palio. This is not a region that has been turned into a theme park of its former self. It is a place where traditions are actively lived, celebrated, and passed on with a deep sense of responsibility and love. You come to Tuscany for the art and the history, and you are rightly amazed. You are humbled by the genius of Michelangelo and the vision of the Medici. You marvel at the scale of the Duomo and the beauty of the Ponte Vecchio. But you stay for the simple things. The taste of a perfectly ripe tomato drizzled with local olive oil. The sound of church bells echoing across a quiet valley. The warmth of a smile from a stranger in a small village. These are the moments that truly define the Tuscan experience and lodge themselves in your memory forever. It's the art of living well, perfected over generations. So I encourage you to discover it for yourself. Come and get a little lost on the winding roads. Stop at a roadside stand and buy some fruit. Sit in a piazza and just watch the world go by. Talk to people, eat their food, drink their wine. Tuscany is more than just a place to see. It is a place to experience with all your senses. It is a land that enriches the soul and reminds you of the enduring power of beauty, history, and human connection. It has been waiting for you for centuries, and its timeless charm will be here long after we are gone, ready to be discovered again and again.